You just started playing golf. You're embarrassed. You want to make sure you can get the ball airborne and straight. We can do that this day today. Wait till you see what I got going for you. You won't believe how simple this is. And the best part is you can't do anything wrong. First things first, what is this club designed to do first and foremost? Is designed to cut grass. So how long do you think it would take me to cut grass with this particular tool? This is called a grass whip. Get one of these at Amazon. It's between $30 and $50. And you're going to use it to cut grass in both directions, back and forth. So notice it's already going to give you a really good idea of your posture. So when you're bending forward, you're bending from the hips and you're lowering your blade to the ground. Now we're just going to let the blade brush the ground in both directions. Can you see how that works? You'll master that today. Now, if I put that ball on a tee and I cut the tee at the surface of the ground, what do you think is going to happen to the ball? It's just going to fall to the ground, right? So here we go. So notice I cut the stem of that dandelion and the ball just fell to the ground. So if I take this golf club, which has a leading edge that's sharp, it's got a sole that's a little beveled so it doesn't dig too much in the ground, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut grass with the sole of the club back and through. See that? And that's your task, is to allow the club to cut grass in both directions. Now, we bring that to the ball. See how that gives me the distance between myself and the ball? My eyes are going to go right here between the leading edge of the club and the ball on the grass. I'm not trying to hit that spot. I'm seeing the sole of the club, the leading edge of the club, cutting through the dandelion stem. So I just let it cut through the stem once again, and now I've got a golf shot that's in the air and beautifully straight. So now, for many of you at first, you'll notice once you get to start cutting the grass, you'll notice the ball will have a tendency to go to a little left or a little right, mostly to the right. That's because nobody ever told you that when you're cutting through something, the hands always come through first. So if I take that grass whip again, and I got that dandelion stem that I'm going to cut through, notice my hands coming through first. See how the heel of the club comes through before the toe of the club? The hands always lead. Whether you're going fishing, the hand always comes through before the fishing pole, which comes through before the lure. It's the same in golf. If you have a square face with your grip and then you're cutting through the stem, you notice how the leading edge of the club comes through before the trail edge of the club. So that's going to have a tendency to put the ball out to the right. Now, when you cut the stem, you can cut from toe to heel. You can cut from heel to toe. Which one is going to get the ball to go straight? Now, if you ever watch hockey, you'll notice hockey sticks have a curved blade on them. And jai-alai has a curved basket. And lacrosse has a deep pocket. And if I'm going to throw a ball, well, you notice I'm wrapping my finger around the ball. I'm not going to throw this way. The ball's going to come out backwards. So I'm always hooking that ball in my finger. So we're going to hook the club face around the ball. So I close my face, I cut through my stem, and it's going to go nice and straight. Psst, check this out. It is the off-season time. This is the best time for you guys to get your coaching. We work on your swings every week online. We put a nice routine around that. We spruce it up with some speed training. And come springtime, it's time to go out and perform on the golf course, and we can help you out there as well. Check us out, wisdomandgolfpremium.com. Waiting for you. Let's go. So when I go to the ball, I close the face, I see where it wants to cut grass. Notice I'm cutting grass in both directions. And then I'll cut through the stem of that dandelion with the sole of the club. Ball leaps into the air, and I've got this gorgeous trajectory, and I'll never have to worry about putting the ball in the air ever again. So if you take the sole of the club and you cut through the grass into the direction of the target, so let's finalize that. You want to go straight, you need to have a path of swing that's going straight. So notice that second ball here. So imagine the blur of the club. Notice when I was swinging back and through without stopping, the blur of the club is passing right here in front of me. That gives me the distance I should be from the ball. And then I'm going to match that blur up with the direction that I want that ball to go. So I'm going to pick a spot in front of the ball that leads me to that target. If I'm going to the red post, I'm going to start it to the right here. So I'm going to cut through my dandelion stem to the right of that. Off goes the golf ball into the direction of that red post, absolutely perfectly. And then look at how gorgeous that is. Little 150-yard 9-iron, beautiful little draw. If the ball curves to the left, that's desirable. It means that your club face was closed enough. You see how that works now? So, get going with, let the club cut grass in both directions. You want it to feel whippy. You want it to feel very easy to do. Imagine if it was your full-time job. Well, then you wouldn't be forcing it back and through and jamming it into the ground. You wouldn't be very employable in that case. So you would want to follow the surface of the ground and feel the sole of the club stay along the surface. That way you get a nice even cut along the ground. And if the ball is in the center of your stance, and we'll finish with this, notice if I have one arm and I'm cutting grass with one arm. See how the center of that lawnmower is my right shoulder. Notice how the club wants to cut grass right under my shoulder. So, here's a great way to see it. I observe where that club wants to pass, right there. Bring that to the ball. And there you have it. Golf ball in the air and in the direction that I want to go. All I had to do is cut grass with my lawnmower. So when I bring both hands together to take my grip, that's going to be in the center of my stance. Notice it wants to cut grass in the center of my stance. Bring that in. So I'm just going to put the ball right there in the center of my heels. I'm going to line up those heels in the direction that I want the ball to go. So ball in the center, and then I see the stem of the dandelion I want to cut. I'm just going to let it cut in the direction that I want the ball to go. It is so simple, so ridiculously easy, and start with that, bring that up the clubs, and then when you're ready, go to wisdomingolfpremium.com and check out the Wisdom in Golf 2.0 and get yourself to the next level.